What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and third stimulus package update. As the $1,400 third stimulus check bill has been passed by the Senate on Saturday morning, and it is now at the U.S. House of Representatives today. I'm going to give you the latest details of what is going to happen today and tomorrow on the third stimulus check package, when to expect the money. We're going to hear directly from the Senate and more. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates on the third stimulus check package. When it passes, finally, the president signs it into law, when the money goes out, as well as the other buckets of money you can claim from the third stimulus check package, such as the $3,000 to $3,600 child stimulus checks that are going to be paid out in monthly increments of $250 to $300 per month. That's the child income tax credits. That's in addition to the $1,400 per person and also $1,400 for dependents, adult dependents, college students, and children, as well as two more rounds of mortgage assistance, rental assistance, property tax assistance, and utility assistance. And then coming after this bill is the next stimulus package bill called the infrastructure bill, or the Build Back Better bill, which will have multiple different rounds of stimulus in there, as well as the Social Security increase of $200 per month, likely coming after this bill, the student loan forgiveness of $10,000 or more, the $15,000 first time home buyer tax credit that President Joe Biden wants, as well as the $200 per month Social Security increase. So subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's completely free. Smash the like button and let's jump right in. First, we're going to hear directly from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on the third stimulus checks and the package. He's addressing New York. It's a New York news conference. So you're going to hear him speaking to New Yorkers, but just know that this applies to everybody.
Okay, we're starting over again. Sorry. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. So I say to beleaguered New Yorkers, help is on the way. A robust basket of $100 billion is heading New York's way, and it will help just about every New Yorker. For those of you who have been awaiting vaccines, help is on the way. Just about every New Yorker, vast majority of New Yorkers, will receive a $1,400 check in the mail in the next few weeks. Help is on the way. To museums, to theaters, to restaurants, help is on the way. To our beleaguered subway system, help is on the way. To so many to people who can't feed their kids or worry about being evicted from their homes, help is on the way. To our small businesses, to our nonprofits, to our churches and synagogues and mosques, help is on the way. This crisis has affected just about every aspect of New York life. Oh, and one more. To our schools, desperately in need of opening safely, help is on the way. And to our state and local governments and all their many workers, the bus drivers and sanitation workers and healthcare workers who are worried about being laid off, help is on the way. The robust package, the robust basket of aid that we have been able to put together and pass yesterday will affect just about every aspect of New York life where there has been trouble. I have listened to New Yorkers for months. They have told me of their problems, and I worked very hard as Majority Leader to make sure that we dealt with just about all of their problems, and we have. You've all read about the deficits that New York City and New York State is facing. There is ample aid, even more than the governor and mayor have asked for. And that will be really good news for our city and state workers who are so worried about layoffs. And there's so many other businesses, nonprofits, who rely on the state, and governments who rely on the state for aid. Our schools, they need to open. There's over $160 billion in this package nationally. New York gets, I have the numbers are on your press release, I don't have them here. Okay. We added over $160 billion in aid to the schools so they could open safely. And New York will get
Schools is probably on the next page.
no, is it?
Well, this is,
Over $12 billion will go to New York schools. So this is a package that meets the needs of the moment, the healthcare needs, so we can get New Yorkers vaccinated and our healthcare institutions can treat people who have help, for the PPE that is needed. It meets the moment to make sure that our restaurants have been struggling more than just about anybody else will now have aid, a 6-month grant. We have done the same thing for our stages, our independent movie theaters, independent arts venues. They will get increases in aid. So this bill is really good for New York. As Majority Leader, I did all I could to make sure that New York was helped in every different aspect. There's set-asides for small and minority-owned businesses who haven't gotten much of the aid that's already been sent to others. We make sure that happens as well. I can't think of a package, I can't think of legislation that has been more important to New York in decades.
Okay, now remember, the Senate has passed the third stimulus check package bill, but it has to go back to the U.S. House of Representatives where it is today because the Senate modified the bill. They took several things out, and they took out some what some people would call pork, some fluff that wasn't COVID related. They took out the $15 an hour minimum wage, did not pass the Senate. There's almost no way to pass the minimum wage in the Senate at this point. They also reduced the income qualifications on the third stimulus check, as well as reduced the unemployment bonus money from $400 per week to $300 per week. But they did add in a provision that makes the first $10,200 of income from unemployment not taxable for the year of 2020. They also might be doing this for the year of 2021 in the future in one of the future stimulus packages coming up. However, some House progressive Democrats are not happy with the Senate bill. They can only have 4 Democrats from the U.S. House of Representatives vote to say no. If they get 5 people to say no, then it will be a tie vote and will not be able to pass. As you can see here, the Senate passed the bill Saturday morning after a marathon debate after more than 24 hours straight, after a slew of amendments to the House version of the bill were proposed and in some cases adopted. Some House Democrats are already griping over the modifications made to the legislation, partly the removal of the federal minimum wage hike before the bill comes back to their chamber for a vote as soon as Tuesday. They're actually taking up the bill today on Monday to start the proceedings in the U.S. House of Representatives today. But those peeved progressives appear poised to set aside their misgivings and approve the Senate changes. Hopefully. Quote, despite the fact that we believe any weakening of the House provisions were bad policy and bad politics, the reality is the final amendments were relatively minor concessions, said Representative Jayapal. Well, I don't know about minor changes. I mean, they completely took out the $15 an hour minimum wage. There's a lot of Democrats that are completely upset about that. But honestly, there's no way to pass it in the Senate at this point. There's literally just no way to pass it. It failed 42 to 58, and they're way short of having the votes to do that. I expect a standalone bill after this bill to try to raise it at a compromise of $10 to $11 an hour. But they completely took out the minimum wage. They completely gutted the income requirements of the stimulus check, which will make around 12 to 15 million people not receive the third stimulus check because their income is too high. For the first 2 stimulus checks, you could make up to $100,000 as an individual filer and still receive a stimulus check. It was reduced after 75,000 and went all the way to 100,000. This time around, it's the same 75,000, but it only goes to $80,000. So any individual filers that makes over $80,000 up to $100,000 will not be getting the third stimulus check this time around like they were able to get when former President Donald Trump was there and passed the two stimulus checks. So there's 12 to 15 million people that are not going to get the stimulus checks because they lowered the income qualifications. You can double that for a couple. So $80,000 is the cutoff, 160 for a couple. The reduced check starts at 150,000 and goes to 160,000. So yeah, there's some major changes in there. They also reduced the unemployment from $400 a week to $300 per week. They extended it for one more week, going till September 6th, and they also added a $10,200 free income tax provision to unemployment money for the year 2020. So basically, if you earned any unemployment money in 2020, then up to the first $10,200 of that will be tax free if it survives the House. Remember, they still have to pass this in the House. They're starting the proceedings on that today. They can only have up to 4 Democrats vote no. Last time they had 2 vote no. If they get 5 to vote no, the Democrats have a 10-vote lead. As you can see here on the screen, there's 221 Democrats in the House and 211 Republicans. Last time, every single Republican, all 211 of them, voted no on the third stimulus check package, and the Democrats still passed it without. You can see they have a 10-vote lead, but if you subtract 5 from the Democrats, say 5 Democrats vote no, you would have 216 yeses, and you add 5 to the noes, the Republicans, 216. It would then be a tie, 216 to 216. So they can only have 4 people vote no in the U.S. House of Representatives. Last time they had 2, and well, they've made significant changes to the bill since then, removing the minimum wage, cutting 12 to 15 million people out of the stimulus checks, reducing the unemployment from $400 per week to $300 per week. A lot of Democrats were thinking that it could be as high as $600 per week, and they thought that they should raise the unemployment benefits, and now it's going to be basically the same. And there's a lot of changes that happened in the U.S. Senate bill. So, provided that they vote on this bill on Monday or Tuesday in the U.S. House of Representatives, which is today or tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this video, or possibly even today, President Biden says the checks will start going out this month. As soon as the U.S. House of Representatives passes the bill, provided they don't make any amendments, they can't change the bill. If they change the bill, then it has to go back to the Senate to be voted on again. The House and the Senate have to pass the exact same bill. Then it goes to the president to sign it. Joe Biden will likely sign it the same day. As soon as he gets the bill, he'll go and sign the bill. So then the stimulus checks will start going out within a few days if you're on direct deposit. However, direct deposits tend to go out in waves, and as you know, you may or may not have gotten the first and second stimulus check right away, or you may have had some delays in there. They're going to go off your most recent tax return. So for some of you that might be 2019, if you've already filed your 2020 tax return and they've already received it and processed it, then they can go off your most recent data, which is 2020. This includes where they're going to send the check to via direct deposit, and that will go off your most recent tax return, your most recent information. That also includes if they're going to send you a paper check, they're going to go off your most recent information. If paper checks are expected to go out a week after they send out the stimulus checks and they're passed and signed by President Biden. I'll keep you up to date on all that. As you know, the snail mail does take a little bit longer. So that's why I recommend in the future, if you're not on direct deposit, get on direct deposit because it's safer and a lot faster. They deposit the money directly into your bank account. Now, for the child stimulus checks of $1,400 and $1,400 for adult dependents and college student dependents, there's $1,400 basically for everybody here. So if you're a mom with 5 children, you're going to get your check and 5 children. You're going to get 6 checks of $1,400, which I believe is $8,400 just off the top of my head. So you're going to get $8,400 literally direct deposited or sent to you in the mail. This is the largest stimulus check by a lot. The $1,400 is obviously larger than the $600 or the $1,200, but the child stimulus checks are really larger because they're more than double than they have been before. And checks go this time to adult dependents and college student dependents who didn't get the first and second stimulus check. However, their stimulus checks, very similar to a child dependent goes to the person who claims them as a dependent. So if you claim your mom as a dependent, an adult dependent, you're going to get two $1,400, yours and your mom's, but your mom's not going to get it sent to her. It's going to go to the person who claims them as a dependent. Very similar to a child. The 2-year-old child or the 5-year-old child gets the stimulus check, but it goes to the mom or dad who claims them as a dependent. So just keep that in mind. As long as you have a social security number and you earn below the income requirements, you will be receiving $1,400, okay? How quickly? Well, that's another matter, and I'll keep you up to date. If you're on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and you have a Social Security number and you make below the income requirements, you get a check. It's very, very simple. If you make below the income requirements and you have a Social Security number, then you get a check. So I will be keeping you up to date with all this latest details. And also in the future, from this bill, we have, in addition to that, a $3,000 to $3,600 child income tax credit that are going to be sent out in monthly stimulus payments. This is currently set up to be given to the parents in the form of monthly stimulus checks or monthly checks of $250 to $300 per month. It's $3,000 total for 1 year. This is an increase of the previous child income tax credit that was $2,000. They're now increasing it to $3,000 for children over the age of 6. From 6 to 17 will now get $3,000 per child for and child income tax credits, and $3,600 for children under the age of 6. However, the IRS is setting up a brand new program to pay this to the parents in monthly stimulus checks of $250 per month for children over 6, or $3,000 for a year, and $3,600 total for children under 6, or $300 per month. It's going to take them a few months to set up this program, and it'll start likely in July. You're probably going to have a process to kind of go through and set this up with the IRS. I will kind of teach you guys how to do this when this becomes available. It's also possible, because this is starting in July, that they could give a one lump sum of 6 months, basically January through June, the first 6 months of the year, as a one lump sum per child. So $1,500 per child over 6 and $1,800 per child under 6 as a one lump sum per child in July, and then also then continue on with the $250 to $300 per month. As you can see here on the screen, President Joe Biden supports possibly making this $3,000 to $3,600 child income tax credit permanent going forward. Right now, it's set for a year in this third stimulus check package, but possibly in the future, one of the future stimulus packages, they could make this a permanent increase as opposed to the lower amount of $2,000, and eventually that will phase out. They could be making this $3,000 to $3,600 permanently, along with the monthly payments for this. So I will keep you up to date with that going forward. Now, this comes as we have multiple dozens, actually, Democratic senators and Democratic congressmen from the House already pushing for monthly reoccurring stimulus checks. As you can see here, that Senator Ed Markey says that the $1,400 stimulus check is just a down payment, and that monthly recurring checks need to follow in the next package, which is called the infrastructure package, called the Build Back Better package. There's already a big push starting already to have monthly reoccurring stimulus checks in the next stimulus check package. So that will be very good news. I will keep you up to date on the third stimulus check package, the mortgage and rental assistance and property tax assistance, utility assistance that will be coming out of this that you'll be able to claim at a future date, the possible Social Security increase of $200 per month, student loan forgiveness, the $15,000 first-time home buyer tax credit that President Biden wants, as well as the next stimulus check package that the senators are already pushing for, monthly reoccurring stimulus checks, as you literally just seen there on the screen. So make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. You can click the bell icon after subscribing to get all notifications when we go live with new videos, which is every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Share this video with your family and friends. There's a share button down below so that they know when to expect the third stimulus check. They could be voting on it as possibly as today or tomorrow in the US House of Representatives. I will keep you up to date on the details that they're going to be doing today in the US House of Representatives. Don't miss any videos at this point. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9 to 5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Me and my wife sell products on Amazon as well. You can click one of these videos here to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.